G'day, it's Damned here, and we're deep into this rule set now, and we're about to start NPCs. The NPCs is going to actually be a sizable task. We can see here the stats that White Lies wants us to have for the NPCs, but there's also a few core RPG details as well that we want to capture. Things like name and portrait, potentially the non-ID name. Sorry, not portrait, token, the non-ID name, size, reach, sensors. Sensors probably matters in this one. You might have people wearing night vision goggles or dark vision goggles, something like that. So there are some factors there. So we're going to try and build these out into our NPC sheet, and let's see how we go with it. This is what the core RPG NPC sheet looks like. Well, with our White Lies skin on top of it, you can see these fields. We'll probably keep languages, we'll probably ditch equipment, and we'll probably ditch roles, and we'll probably keep everything else, although it looks like we're going to actually be remaking this entirely from scratch. And this is what the XML looks like in core RPG. So we've got middle class NPC, and then we've actually got NPC header and NPC main, and the header is the name and token section, and the main section is the rest of it. And there's actually two sub windows in there as well. So there's a bit of stuff to look at here. So we're going to see how we go with this, rebuilding this, I think, in the Ruleset Wizard. What we're going to do is I'm going to add a new frame here, and this is an experiment. I haven't done this one before. I seem to do a lot of experimenting as we build new things up, try different ways of doing things. Alright, this is basically transparent for the first 105 pixels on the left, and then it's our white color on the right hand side. And what we're going to start with is something simple like skills. I'm going to create a copy, open that up, and let's start by renaming it, getting it, let's call it NPC. Height, I think we're definitely going to make this longer, going to make it wider to give us enough room to do all the things that we want to do. And let's just start playing with these things. So I've got a couple of entries here. I'm going to unlock these, move them all the way to the left, and we're going to lock them. Now these should be right aligned. They are, great. We want to get a token field in here. Let's start with that one. Drop a token field in here. 4040, that's great. We can see here that our token field is named token, and it's got a script on it as well. We want to copy that. So let's actually just copy this, and we'll remember that name token. So drop our script in here. Shift tab, we'll remove those excess tabs, and we want to call this just token. We also want to align this right. Okay, we've got our lock field. There's also the ID field. I'm not that keen on the ID field, not that worried about implementing it at the moment. Let's make this field longer, and then we will also anchor it both ways. Okay, interesting. Alright, first part. Second part, description. So we're going to nuke that field completely. Now we've got some fields here that we need to get from Core RPG. Actually, so first let's drop a frame in here. This is that experiment I was talking about. So let's get icon, image. Okay, so we've got, what's that, 375 wide, 540 tall. That looks pretty good. Let's lock that. Design the locked true. Horizontal anchor both, and vertical anchor both. Oh, both. Okay, but we want to set a frame for it. So our frame is going to be this new one, NPC body. What have I got there? I see what I've done. I actually put a slight white border around that, and I've got it tiling. So what we have to do is just change our offsets. NPC body. Here we are. I put these as 0, thinking there was nothing else there. We can put them at 5,5,5. And this possibly also needs to even be 110. Alright, let's push that one again. This probably won't refresh the visual look here until we do it later. In fact, we don't want this to go quite so far to the end. So let's make this less wide. 375, let's make it 365. And from the bottom, let's make it 535. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Let's push that. And what are we going to call this actually? We're going to just call this body frame, something like that. Nothing too serious. Reloading the table. NPCs, okay. New personality. This is Gregory. Okay. We need something, an icon here to tell us that there's an icon field. Alright. But this is the effect I was after. Okay, so our description or our labels are going to go on the left and our content on the right. I'm not sure it's perfect, but let's see how it goes. I might have to put some of these beveled edges on here, maybe just even on the right hand side. We can do that. Here's my sheet. Let's go. Let's select grow by 1. Okay, let's fill it all transparent again. Now let's just go and take the corners off. So we're going to go image, configure grid, 10 pixel grid is good, and we want to snap to grid, and we want to show the grid. Okay, I just want to go corner, 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 delete, corner, 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 delete. Do I want to delete these corners? I don't know. I'm going to leave them as they are. I actually think it's going to be better. Problem is my pixels here don't line up. So what we're going to do is we're going to layer, duplicate layer, and then we're going to, this layer should only be, maybe it's not. Okay, let's go. We're on this side. Okay, now our layer is only that big. Okay, let's flip it. Okay, anchor it. And we're going to do that trick again where we select half. So we take half there off the top layer, we flip it, and we take the other half off the bottom layer, and then we drop these two layers onto each other. And let's export that again. Back in, that's not GIMP, which is good because I don't want to be in GIMP. Okay, so let's go back to this frame. We need to update these. Okay, so we want to make this 120, and we want to make these, they need to be at least 12. If we refresh that, that looks clean. Okay, if we go back here, this won't refresh until we reload the table, but it will refresh in Fantasy Grounds when we load that back up again. Let's add Grigori to our hotkey bar down here. Load up here. Yeah, I think that looks cleaner. Looks better, so we're going to start putting our text fields here and the content on the right. What we'll do is, this is actually 40 by 40. We're actually going to stick another icon underneath it. Icon, or interesting, what have I got? Weapon attack there. Let's move this into icons where it ought to be. And now I've got some sort of hex in here somewhere. Box num, hex num gray. Let's put one of these in. So we're going to, no we're not. Let's try just weapon empty. That's not the right way to do it. Sorry. Let's go and add an icon. Here. I'm going to line it up with this one roughly, but we're going to change the size to 20 and 20. And I'm going to token blank. And we're going to put an icon in here. And the icon will be something like weapon empty. Here we go. I'll put this right over that one. And we want to make sure it's underneath that. So let's now send it backwards. Okay, that's fine. Let's lock that. That should give us that field. And token, here we go, that's great. Alright, now let's get the fields going here for our character. So we've got size and reach, which we need to put in there first. So we need label. That's 100 pixels. And I wonder if this works. Add right instead of center. I don't think this will work. Anyway, and our label is size, and it's size label. It certainly doesn't look like it's worked. Let's push it and see. By dragging Grigori down here to the hotkey bar, I can open him up with an F6, and in fact size has worked over there. It's a little bit close, but we might try that out. Let's do right aligning for all of these, but we're going to give it a little bit more padding. Okay, let's change it into languages. The only issue with languages is that languages can often be more than one line long. Let's see how it goes anyway. Now let's add in our fields that we need for our game system. So we've got, let's grab all of these. Not quite. I accidentally grabbed the frame behind. One of these looks like it's not the same. Okay, two of them are 1 pixel different. Okay. So we've got here armor class label, armor class, we've got hit dice, we've got total hit bonus. I wonder if that fits. Looks a bit long. Might fit. THB label. We've got attacks. So let's do saving throw first. Okay, we might have to dupe these. Oh, crap. Why aren't these locked in yet? Lock them again. Alright, so the next one is special. Then we've got movement, and we've got next field is level XP. Okay, that's two different fields. Level and XP. We've got to still put in our attacks. We've got plenty of room, but I think we're going to put in our attacks higher up. We're possibly even going to move all of these ones here down. They're not part of the rule interpret, what this game system has as its rules. So it doesn't mean we can't have them, but we're just going to lower the priority down by putting them further down the page. Okay, we've got all these ones. We're going to unlock them. Going to push them up to the top. Lock them in place, and then we're going to have attacks. Okay. Attacks. And you know what? We also need a description field. We might have to make these a bit longer. Anyway, attacks and attacks label. So I think we want room for a description. So I guess what we have to do to make this work is we really want to put this into a sub window. That way we can put the scroll bar in and we don't have to have super long frames. What are these at the moment? They're currently 600. 600 is well and truly tall enough. So let's see what it looks like first. Alright, so because Grigori was opened previously, and it has remembered the size of these windows. It doesn't know that the window should open at 600 because it's already got a default window size saved for it. So look, 600 is fine, but we do still need, if we're going to do this, we do need a description field, and that doesn't fit here. So I guess one way we could adjust this is by we could have hit dice and armor class next to each other. That would save us a little bit of space. We could have level and XP next to each other. It would save some space. We could have size and reach next to each other. That's going to save us easy 90 pixels. And that's probably attacks also. We probably don't really need this many. We need probably 3 attacks. So we've got a few more pixels here that we can do. It means we set these to not be resizable. This is in error. Why is that sitting like that? And I think it's because also this should have also been, yeah. But okay, let's nuke Grigori. Let's create a new one. Items, NPCs. Okay, let's drag some sort of, what have we got here? I think there's some modern. They don't really look like Grigori. This guy looks like Grigori. Let's drag him in. Alright, that's our token. That's done, that's fine. There's our lock button. Okay, we haven't got our script here on our lock field. But let's drag Grigori back down here, update him. Okay, and I think we should experiment with putting armor class and hit dice on the same line. Let's go and try that out. And also, this is a frame I've missed this because this really doesn't go very well with this theme. If we were to grab hit dice, unlock it, well, let's just duplicate it actually. Control-C, Control-V. Drag it over here. Now, hit dice, obviously this field doesn't need to be as long. We don't need all of that. Shorten it up. 40 is too short. 45 is about right. I'm not sure about that positioning. I think it needs to be over to the left more. Let's make it the width here 60, and it's still going to be right aligned. I think it needs to go over just about there. Alright, let's lock that one into place. If we were to do that, we want to do the same with, so we'll nuke this one. Actually, we want to see what it looks like first. And I think that I need to put some sort of frame behind it, which is potentially problematic in terms of, you know, getting this the way I wanted it to look. But maybe not. What are we going to do there? Let's XP attacks level. Okay, this one could also go down. Control-C, Control-V. Run line there. Run line there. Let's lock that and change this one to level. And we're going to do the same for reach. Let's just push this out quickly. Alright, we've got some label here that's duplicated in name. HT label. Obviously we don't want both of them in here when we publish it properly. But we're not at that page size just yet. Grigori doesn't exist anymore, why not? What have I done? Oh, I've messed something up here. I've totally messed this frame up. Let's just republish this. Alright, I know what it is. My link field here is incorrect and it doesn't have the right data type and it's opening it up as a skill because I copied the skill one. So that's something we definitely have to fix. I think there's enough room here for these, but I do definitely want to do something about adjusting the visual layout behind these. So I'm going to try and do that quickly. What I'm thinking is each of these sections is 30 pixels high and I think we made it 60 pixels wide. So we're going to go File, New, I'm going to go Width 60, Height 30. We're going to New Blank Layer. We're going to, we want a 5 pixel grid. Configure grid 5 pixels. And we want to snap to grid, show grid. We want to get rid of this layer. I want to pour not that color. I want my 7B color in there. And I want to now cut off. How are we doing this? We're doing this the other way. So I need to make this bigger. I need to make this 70, 40, layer, scale layer. No, it doesn't matter. Let's just fill this in. Now, I'm still not sure. The problem is the top one. I may have to do 2 of these. Okay, maybe that's all it is. So I'm going to go like this. You'll see what I mean shortly. I talk to myself a lot when I'm coding. You should try it. Everyone else thinks I'm mad, so it's easier if I just talk to myself. Okay, so let's call this NPC base 2. That's not quite NPC base 2. And I wanted one. Let's duplicate this image. Image canvas size 65. No, 70. 35. I'm going to push it up to here. Resize. I want to. I probably have to fill the whole thing in again. Image, view, snap to grid, view, show grid. Okay, let's try this a different way. NPC base 1. Now, this is going to be fun, trying to get these laid out perfectly underneath them. Let's create, do we want them as icons? It's probably going to be easier laying them out as icons. Let's do that. Let's create 2 new icons. NPC base 1. Let's close these up. Let's drag in icon. Let's set this height to 35, width to 70. The icon base 1. Let's get it. This is hit dice base, and we need it to be behind hit dice label. Okay. Let's zoom in. Ha! Oh no, I've done these the wrong way. I've coloured them the wrong way. I've got the dark outside and the light inside. I wanted to do it the other way around. It doesn't matter too much. I also need a little bit more padding there. Okay. I think you can see what I'm after now, but we're going to have to redo those images. Image canvas size, they need to be wider, 80. Alright, let's layer to image size. Let's fill the whole thing with light, and then we want to fill the middle with darkness. Not really darkness. Let's try this one. We go into NPC base 1. Is there no refresh option here? Doesn't look like there is. Alright, what this means is we're probably going to save our project, close the Ruleset Wizard, and come back into it. Otherwise, no, actually we don't need to. We'll do it after we've configured this. Alright, so we're going to make this one now 80. Gee, I hope I've done this right. Okay. If I lock that, I push this, I reload my FG table. Ha! That's very, very, very close to exactly how we wanted it. And maybe the answer here is for these middle ones is for them not to be right aligned, but maybe for them to be center aligned. I think that's what we'll do. I think it's a necessary compromise. I think this is going to work, so I'm going to proceed to do this. It's tempting with these 5 pixel ones here to change these ones to 5 pixels. I might as well do it while I'm at it. Let's first quickly do this one. Image, canvas size 80. Okay, let's fill the whole thing in with light. Then let's do the rectangle things again. Okay, export this one, and let's go back to this one, and what are we going to do? Fill it all the way to there, fill it with white, then we're going to go do this corner thing again. Although we're not going to, because this grid is still 10 pixels. We've just been redoing our work, not actually solving our problem. We just want to cut 5 pixels off this corner, 5 off this corner, now this one's a bit trickier. I can't use my snap to grid. I think we got it pretty close. Same here, let's go 5. Those steps are clean. Okay, let's push this one out as well. And let's go back to our wizard. Let's copy this. Hopefully that frame is locked. Control C, Control V. That's pretty close to perfectly in line. It's the wrong graphic though. We want NPC base 2. And we also have to move this control behind level XP, behind XP, like that. We're going to change our level label to center. So do the same for hit dice, change it to center. Let's duplicate this field, lock it, copy it, paste it. Now, of course, we are going to have to send this back first. Behind reach. Special movement label, where is reach? It's already there because reach isn't properly named. Okay, let's quickly publish this. For some reason, level didn't center. Hit dice did, level didn't, and reach didn't. We'll fix those, but I think that's fine. That's going to do what we want to do. These are going to be red boxes, most likely. Awesome. Let's stop this video. It's already gone for 40 minutes, and in the next video, we'll fill out these fields, and then we can start testing it. Cheers. See you soon.